Oh man, do you remember that time that Jesus made breakfast on the beach for the boys? Pretty cool. I'm a huge breakfast eater, so I love it. Like, I love Waffle House. I love their all-star breakfast where you're going to get your waffle, obviously, you're at Waffle House. Scrambled eggs, some hash browns or grits, some white toast, some bacon or sausage. I mean, just deluxe. And so we've got Jesus in a scene in John 21 where he is making breakfast on the beach. This is after he's come back. It's after the execution. It's after all of that. And so this scene unfolds in a unique way. The guys, and there's actually 70 of the apostles that have been fishing all night long. Jesus is on the beach, and they have just had a rough night. They've not caught anything. They're not even able to come back with the biggest fish story. They don't have a story to tell whatsoever. And Jesus says, hey, cast your nets on the other side. They do it. Big amount of fish come in. I think it's like 153. Somebody counted. I mean, it's such a big fish story. And when they hit the banks, he says, come bring some of your fish. And on a fire, there on the beach, is fish and bread. This is going to be their breakfast. Now, to me, that's not Waffle House. I don't know that I'd be pumped up if somebody said, hey, come over for breakfast. We're going to have some fish and bread. I'd be like, I don't know about that. It's grilled. It's wood fired. Still not sure that I'd be pumped up about it. But in this case, they gather around the fire. They're eating. And in this scene is where Jesus says to Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Now, what's interesting is that he doesn't call him Peter. He had changed his name to Peter. Jesus is the one who said, you'll no longer be called Simon. Instead, you're going to be called Peter. So Simon means to listen. Peter means the rock. And so when Jesus shows some compassion in this sense to Peter, he says, Simon, son of John. Because at this point, it's probably where Peter is. It's probably where he feels like his life is. He's probably felt like he's demoted himself back to Simon. But the word Simon means to listen. In other words, listen. Listen. Do you love me? And all of this scene has taken place after Peter is betrayed, after he has run away. After all of these things is when this question comes. Do you love me? And what's interesting is the word that Jesus used. The word that he uses is agape in the Greek, and it means that it's unconditional. In fact, let me scroll down a little bit and see that it's not affection. It's not warmth. It's not loyalty fueled by emotion. Agape is self-giving, unconditional, unfailing, and non-leaving love. It doesn't abandon. As I've gotten older in life, your views change. Like back in the day, I was like, once you become an adult, nothing from childhood ever affects you. And I noticed as I got older, I was not always letting people get really close to me, and I couldn't figure out why. And it turns out that just through conversations with folks and being willing to read and to study and to sit with things that were challenging, because I tend to be super upbeat, I tend to be super happy, and I can compartmentalize like nobody's business and stay just in the joy lane. And one day I was reading Byron Katie and her book, Loving What Is. And one of the exercises in there is to take something that you're really frustrated about or a belief that you have, and you ask the question, is it true? Is it absolutely true? And you turn it around. So it goes like this. I might say, oh, my dad abandoned me. And so I keep everybody at a distance because I feel like I was abandoned by my biological father. So I will state it as a fact. My dad abandoned me. Is that true? Yeah, it's true. Left before I was born. Is it absolutely true? Absolutely. No, there were times where he was around. There were times where I visited him. There were times where I went to his work. There were times that he took me to different things. So it's not absolutely true. And so turn it around. My dad abandoned me. I turn it around. My dad did not abandon me. I turn it around again. I abandoned myself. That was pretty eye-opening, right? And this love is the love that says it doesn't abandon. It does not leave. And even as Peter had abandoned Christ. He's not abandoned in this moment. Do you love me? And Peter says, yeah, I love you, but he doesn't use the word agape. He uses the word phileo in the Greek. And it means friendship, affection, brotherly love. It's not unconditional, it's not heroic, and it's not absolute. So, it's pretty wild, right? Do you agape me? No, I love you as a friend. So he says the second time, Simon, son of Jonah, do you agape me? Peter says, Lord, you know I phileo you. And then the third time, Jesus says this, Peter, do you phileo me? Peter says, you know I do. He's kind of a little frustrated by this point. You know I phileo you. You know I love you as a friend. Now, why didn't Peter go up to Jesus' level of agape? Who knows? Maybe he felt guilty. Maybe there was some shame. Maybe he knew that if he said that, then people around the fire would have gone, are you crazy? Do you remember how the last fire that you were at, that's where you denied him and you even did it, cussing the folks out around you? Come on, man. You can't use the word agape. But here's what Jesus didn't do. He didn't say, well, that's not good enough, or come back when your love is stronger, or you should be further along by now. We hung out for 3 years. If you really loved me, you would say agape. He didn't say this, which a lot of us in church culture today would do. Give me keys to the kingdom. Keys to the kingdom. You are no longer given the opening day keynote of the church in Jerusalem. Not happening. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for you to give the opening keynote. We can't let you do it. Everybody knows that you're a denier. He didn't do any of that. Instead, he says 3 words to him. Feed my sheep. In other words, I still trust you. I still trust you, even at the phileo level. I trust you to feed the sheep. I trust you to do all of these things. I'm not waiting for you to reach a certain level. I'm surrounding you with this love now. I did not call you to punish you at this breakfast. I called you to nourish you. Man, what if we had that attitude, right? This is the gospel we rarely preach because so much of religion sounds like this, doesn't it? You must love God like this. You must believe like that. You must reach this level of certainty or surrender or holiness or devotion. We've got all these levels we're expecting people. And yet, when Christ is on the beach, he does something different. He accepts Peter's honest capacity, not his aspirational one. I like the word capacity instead of, he just accepted Peter where he was. He did, but he accepted the capacity. This is all that Peter had in the moment. And he accepted Peter's capacity, not his aspirational capacity. So he does meet him exactly where he is. And why does this matter? Because so many of us feel like I'm not sure my love is enough. My faith is too fragile. What if I fail again? What if I embarrass God again? What if I disappoint him? We're in all the disappointment and shame. Like God's up there shaking his head going, oh man, Paul blew it again. I'm going to tell you, ain't nobody surprised. There's not an angel or a spirit that when I blow it, they go, can you believe that? They're like, there he goes again. There he goes again. I mean, it's common. I bet I've got a reputation. Peter had failed publicly a few days before, spectacularly, painfully, and still Jesus builds the future through him, not by pushing Peter upward, but by lowering himself downward. It's not compromise, it's incarnation. So this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to embody this spirit. We are supposed to embody this lowering. We often expect people to meet us at our level, our emotional maturity, our belief, or emotional immaturity, or our belief system, or a certainty, or our spiritual language. We're expecting everybody to come my way, come my way, come my way, or else. I'm going to have to push you back. And when they don't, we'll feel offended or disappointed, impatient. But Jesus does the opposite of that. It's not permissiveness. It's not indifference. It's just grace. It's just grace. A love that says, I see where you are. I accept what you can offer today. I trust that love grows best in safety and not pressure. I see where you are. I see you. And we don't say, I'm just going to accept you right now where you are. I know you can't bring any more than that. No, we've just got this spirit of humility that says, I'm joining you where you are. I'm not expecting you to come to where I am. So we're going to love people where they are and not where we want them to be. Agape does not demand performance. Agape creates space. And sometimes the most Christ-conscious, the most Christ-like thing we can do is to not raise the bar, but to pull up a seat, light a fire, share a meal. Because love doesn't grow by being forced upward. It grows by being received first and then shared freely. And that's what Jesus knew. And that's the love that we're invited to live, to participate in. We receive it and then we give it. Not someday, not when other people catch up, but right here, right now, on the beach, at breakfast with the Christ. Be blessed.